One Wonderkid for every Premier League club.
12,500 is the like target.
Like it.
Arsenal first, and it has to be Bukayo Saka, doesn't it, Theo? He played in every Premier League game last season, 11 goals and 7 assists. And not only that, he's an England regular, worth about 60 million quid. There's no one else you can choose.
I don't really see him as a Wonderkid anymore. I see him as a senior player. So I've gone for Charlie Patino, the 18-year-old central midfielder we watched live against Sunderland in the EFL Cup, and he scored in his debut for the club. Made a really nice run, good on the ball, technician, can take the ball and spread it. He reminds me of Thiago, the way he takes the ball, has a step, moves to the side and can play it on. He's the future of Arteta's system at the Gunners.
Aston Villa now, I've gone for Cameron Archer, the 20-year-old centre forward, Theo. What a season he had.
Yeah.
EFL Cup, 2 games, 4 goals. EFL Trophy, 4 games, 6 goals and 2 assists. He went over to Preston, got 7 goals, and a lot of Villa fans are saying, come back to our club and play in our first team.
But if we're talking about Wonderkids, name me an Aston Villa youth player that's getting described as 10 out of 10. Unbelievable potential. The next Steven Gerrard. Do you know who that is?
I think I do, but you pronounce it.
Chukwuemeka.
Yes.
He is the next Steven Gerrard, and I back that because he's very good on the ball, great box-to-box, powerful, intelligent. He's got this crazy amount of height at that growth spurt really early, and he's dominating through the England and Villa setup. I reckon if they give him a chance next year, he'll shine with it. He came off the bench in the Villa City game, and he nearly scored.
I nearly went for him, but I can't pronounce his name. Bournemouth now, and I've gone for James Hill, which some people might disagree with. He's a 20-year-old centre-back, Theo, and we saw him play most of his football at Fleetwood. He's gone over to Bournemouth, not being given much of a chance yet, but I like to think he's good enough to get in there and hold down a place.
I've picked someone who can't speak English. The Wonderkid for Bournemouth is Noah Boutin. Now, he flew from France to England to live here when he was about 16 years old, and he literally cannot speak the language.
Right.
So if you can speak English, and I got that fact wrong, please, Noah, send me a video on Instagram saying, Theo, I speak English, and thanks for the support, because you are the Wonderkid of Bournemouth. You've been moved back to left back, very athletic and an attacking left back who's got that defensive game to him.
Brentford now, and I've gone for Nathan Young. Coombs, Theo, he's a 19-year-old right winger, and he's been around the houses. He was at the youth setup at Rangers, Crystal Palace and Chelsea. Not being given much of a chance yet, but Brentford fans are talking about him.
Yeah, I think he's playing in the reserves or the B team, whatever Brentford had previously, because they've now reset the academy. The player I've picked is Finn Stevens, the right back, 19 years old, in the Wales setup. I believe he's already playing for the Wales under-21s, and I'm excited to see how he steps forward, because the way Brentford's run, they're not giving someone a chance unless they got it. And he played 14 minutes versus Southampton, and he was decent. He won most of his duels.
So Brentford, Theo, it's interesting they reopened their academy, wasn't it?
Absolutely. They've sacked off the B team, and I think if they do put some real money into it, it'll be quite an attractive move. That club's moving in the right direction, and based in London, I think they've got a big future with youth.
Brighton and Hove Albion, I've gone for Moses Caicedo, Theo. He's already an Ecuadorian international, came from Independiente. Now, at first, he went out on loan to Belgium. He came back, played 8 games, a goal and an assist. And Brighton fans loved how he played against the big teams, and they want him in that starting 11.
I'm actually quite excited by the way they're scouting. They're bringing a lot of talents from South America. Started with Alexis McAllister, and now the player you mentioned, and Julio Enciso, which is a piece of business that just got complete the other day. Sort of a shadow striker, 18 years old, Paraguayan international. He went from the Paraguay under-16 straight to the first team. That's how good he is. He's now played 5 caps for Paraguay. He's the most expensive player to ever come out the Paraguay First Division. And in 14 games, he got 11 goals and 3 assists of his last season. I'm excited to see what he can do in the Prem.
Well, it's an exciting time to be a Brighton fan, isn't it? Pushing for Europe this season, maybe.
Deniz Undav coming in as well. He's 25, so you can't mention him as a Wonderkid.
Chelsea now, and it's got to be Armando Broja, hasn't it, Theo? He played for Southampton last season, 6 goals and 1 assist. Although he did go off the boil. I think he went 13 games without scoring, but he's back in a Chelsea shirt. He's back in an Albania shirt. Good player.
But it's not just Broja who's shining for Cobham, and this is why I think they outweigh Hale End. They've got Levi Colwill who's shining at Huddersfield. They've got Harvey Vale breaking through. Lewis Hall, who is slightly younger, that Tuchel's had to play with a few games, and they've been very versatile, putting a shift for Chelsea. But like I said, the one I'm going to mention and shortlist is Levi Colwill, because he's the one who shined in the Championship. And honestly, if you're a young English talent who's looking to improve, and you nearly got Huddersfield, one of the lowest squad values in that league, to potentially the Premier League, 1 game off it in the playoff final, That's an incredible job. And he plays in a back three, which is the same system as Chelsea. So he's destined for the top, and that is to play regularly in a blue shirt.
Crystal Palace, and for me, it's got to be the French youth international Michael Elise, Theo, signed for 8 million from Reading, probably worth about 20 million now. And his stats in the FA Cup and the Premier League were good. He's an exciting young player, isn't he?
Simple as Michael Elise, I believe this could be his breakthrough year. If Patrick Vieira gives him the game time he deserves, from what we saw of him live against Millwall in the Cup, when he puts it on his left foot, defenders just can't get there in time. He does it like it's Iron Robin. It's something else. He could be a real good role model for Crystal Palace youth that are breaking through their academies, because they're really investing into that at the moment. And the way they're becoming this next level football club, I think Palace are going to have loads of youth prodigies soon. We spoke about Wan-Bissaka and Tyrick Mitchell, but there's a future there.
You've got a manager in Patrick Vieira who believes in youth. It doesn't always happen, that, does it?
Yeah, look, if one of them breaks through that we've never heard of, he might be in the team the next week.
Everton now, and this lad cost 13 million from Rangers. He's a Scottish international, Nathan Patterson. Now, he's been injured recently. He's not set the world alight yet at Everton, but give the lad a chance.
Rangers fans always spoke of him very much as a wonder kid.
Yes.
It's unfortunate it didn't work out there, because he's not had any game time in Liverpool for the Toffees, for the blue side of Liverpool, I must mention. But for me, Jared Branthwaite is my pick. I would have gone Anthony Gordon, but the cut-off age is 21. So that's why we haven't picked some of the players that have just become 22. So bear that in mind for all the football clubs, guys. Jared Branthwaite, I watched live play centre-back this season against Brentford. He's 19, he's got a lot to learn. He got a red card which forced them to 10 men, and then they ended up losing 3-2. But the way the club is run, they will give him game time. The kids will absolutely want to play under Frank Lampard. He's the kind of guy to bring people to the next level. He did it at Chelsea with Tomori, Mason Mount, and I think he's going to do it at Everton with Branthwaite and potentially Lewis Dobbin, who's a forward left wing as well, 19 years old, played a lot in the second team. I think them two guys will get more opportunity this season.
I think it's important that Frank Lampard plays players like this, Theo.
Oh, for sure. You know, it's so inspiring to see what he did for going from West Ham to Chelsea. Pressures from a young age. He's got that experience. He's got that story he can tell to the guys growing through. And I think it's really inspiring. If I was in the Everton Academy right now as an 18-year-old lad, I just really want to impress Lampard. And who knows, he might be in the team. Fulham
now, and I'm going to cheat a bit, Theo, because there's 9 days before this guy stops being a Fulham player. I'm talking about Fabio Carvalho, who's off to Liverpool on July the 1st. But as of today, he's a Fulham player.
Dad, you got
and
this
I
wrong.
want to talk about last season. He was brilliant. 10 goals, 8 assists.
We all know how good he is, but he's no longer a Fulham player.
He is today.
Fulham fans are watching this video, looking for the future, and you're talking about a player that leaves in 15 days. My pick is Fulham's Academy prospect, Luke Harris. 17 years old, central midfielder, and I'll be honest, I didn't know about him before I was educated by Fulham fans. 13 goals in 18 games for Luke Harris in the Premier League 2. And he's 17. He's gone from destroying the under-18s, under-23s, and he's now actually playing with the first team. So we may even see him break through this Fulham team in the Premier League. And if he's a wonder kid, I want to see what he can do at the top level.
Leeds United, and it has to be Joe Gelhardt. All the Leeds fans are shouting this name. 2 goals and 4 assists last season, mainly as an impact sub. He comes on, he runs at players, he's got great ability, great at dribbling, he'll draw the foul, win the penalty, and I want to see more of him this season.
He's already 20 years old, so I thought I'd go a little bit younger, someone who's going to be incredible in the future. And actually, you're friends with his granddad, Archie Gray. He's 16 years old. 16. I'm 21.
Amazing.
He's 5 years younger than me, and he's already a Premier League squad player. Like, his name's on the books. I just feel old, to be honest. He's an attacking midfielder, but the way he plays, if you watch his highlights, he likes to drop deep, collect the ball, play the right pass, and build up attacks. The fact he's already representing at ages way beyond his time, and actually learning the experience of being around a Premier League squad, like Leeds United, when we were there against Brentford, when they scored that incredible moment, and you could see he ran over to Jesse Marsh and just hug him. And you know he's actually getting the right understanding and mentality in the head of being around the first team squad. I think this guy's got a massive future. Leeds United fans should be so excited.
Leicester City, and I've gone for Will Alves because a lot of Leicester fans spoke that name, didn't they, Theo? He played in the FA Cup aged 16. He reminds some people of a young James Maddison, which is a compliment.
Again, I had to be educated on this one because I didn't know enough about the Leicester City Academy. Will Alves is also my pick. Attacking midfielder. And when you've got people, role models in your football club like James Maddison, but also players that have broken through the academy like Keane and Dewsbury Hall. And by the way, Leicester City's academy is state of the art.
Yes.
It's better than any other Premier League club. And yes, I'm talking all the top 6 as well. It's like a 5-star hotel with acres of place to play for. I mean, every kid wants to grow up and play in that Leicester team. I'm telling you, Will Alves, next big thing.
Liverpool now, you've already mentioned him, Theo. It's our friend Harvey Elliott. Now, last season, it was cut short by injury, wasn't it? Which was a real shame. Whenever I see this guy play, he plays with a real maturity, Theo. He's really assured, good on the ball, plays the right passes. He's going to be a fine player.
Harvey Elliott deserves more game time, so we can see what he
Yes.
does. He's absolutely shining in the England under 20, I want to say under 21s. I saw him play, I think it was against Albania, and he was just making a muggery of the defenders. My pick is Fabio Carvalho, their new signing. The reason I've gone for him, I wanted to speak about him. Portuguese youth international. He becomes a Liverpool player, 4-5 million, what a steal, on July the 1st. Amazing season in the Championship, and to do that at 19 years old, to have the maturity to play that many games in the Championship, mate, you're ready for the Premier League plus the Champions League together, because that's the sort of level amount of games you're going to be playing and travelling with the squad. Also, big up to Calvin Ramsey, the new signing from Aberdeen. He shined in the SPFL, and it's nice to see Liverpool scouts are getting ready. That ageing first-team squad, they're ready for the backups.
Manchester City, and I've gone for an England youth international called Cole Palmer, Theo. Now, he absolutely smashed it in Premier League 2. 8 games, 8 goals and 4 assists. He played against Everton in the Premier League, and he scored a goal in the Champions League already.
Cole Palmer does get a lot of the credit, but I must admit, James McAtee, next big thing, I'm telling you. 19 years old, attacking midfielder. His Premier League 2 stats last year are outstanding. Take a hearing of this. 18 goals and 7 assists in 23 games.
Wow.
That's more contributions than games. And to be able to do that at 19 in the PL2, where people are playing of all ages, really, much older than him, he's already got interest from Brighton, Huddersfield. I've heard Leeds are scouting about.
He's an attacking midfielder, and we know that Man City have got some very good players in those positions. He's got to go out on loan, hasn't he?
On loan or even transfer. We all know he's a talent.
Yeah.
If you go sign for Huddersfield or whatever, and you become their main man, and you get loads of contributions, and you're now a big name, and if Huddersfield get relegated, you're still going to move to another big club because you proved yourself, and you're young, you've got potential. So whatever he goes for, I think James McAtee, here out for it, big future.
Manchester United, I've gone for Alejandro Garnacho. I've probably mispronounced that, Theo. He's a 17-year-old left winger, and apparently he's got pace, he's got dribbling ability, but also he likes to get back and defend if he's needed to. He's from Madrid, Theo, and he's played for the Argentina under-20s, a real talent.
So he's from Madrid, but he plays for Argentina.
Yes, I mean, obviously there's
Something
strong
isn't
links between
adding up.
Spain and South America. No, it's a lot, often the case.
Look, I'm excited. I just want to know who his GOAT is. I see him with pictures of Messi and Ronaldo. I want him to firmly say that Messi's the GOAT, and then I'll appreciate him as a player. But until then, he will not be my pick. I'll go for Hannibal Mejbri, the 19-year-old attacking midfielder, centre mid. I mean, look, when he was 15, they signed him for 10 million. And he's already got 16 full international caps for Tunisia, including they won the Arab Cup.
Yeah.
He's played in finals, important matches, and I know you're not too keen on him because he came off the bench once for Man United when they were losing, and he just kicked someone and got a yellow, and you thought he had an attitude problem.
He played like a headless chicken, but I know Roy Keane made the comment, at least he's trying, at least he's showing some spirit.
I don't think you back him to be the next big thing, but I do, so we have difference in opinions.
Newcastle now, and it's got to be Elliot Anderson, the lad from Whitley Bays, an attacking midfielder, and he went over to Bristol Rovers, Theo, and he was part of that promotion side. 8 goals, 5 assists. Apparently without him, Bristol Rovers were a different team.
Without him, Newcastle's academy's not very good. They've got a lot of investment to do, and with the new Saudi backing owners, I've heard they're investing in a whole new training ground because they've seen the state of it and thought, mate, if we want to be a top level club, this is not what we need. So until that actually goes through, Newcastle's academy will not be top level. It's not going to be Cobham. It's not going to be Leicester's. So I agree with you. This kid, he was out at Bristol Rovers last year. He did very well.
He did superb, Theo. But the thing is about the academy, you're absolutely right. The Saudi owners have got to do that. And it's a 10 or 20 year project. And it's brilliant for the city, isn't it? All those young Geordie lads can be the next Joe Linton. Nottingham Forest, I've gone for Dale Taylor, Theo. He's 18 years old and he's a centre forward, and he's already played for Northern Ireland. He was absolutely smashing it in the under-18s Premier League. Didn't have any championship time, so I'm not sure he's going to get game time, but a lot of people talking about him.
I've picked a US international, actually, or soon to be, Alex Mighton, the winger for Nottingham Forest, who featured a few times in the championship. I don't think he started more than 5 games, but when he did, he had pure pace and potential. And I think Forest fans were very excited when Brennan Johnson was on one side and Alex Mighton was on the other. They could both beat a man, and it was dangerous. I'm excited to see what he can do off the bench in the Prem.
Southampton now, I've gone with a right back called Tino Livramento,
Okay.
Theo. Now, last season, it wasn't a great season for Southampton. I think he had some injury worries, but he was bought from Chelsea for £5 million. He's probably worth 5 times that now. Really good bit of business, and I expect a lot of him over the coming years.
Yeah, he's a wonder kid. Simple as. 19 years old, already played a full season at right back for Southampton. Injury hiccups last year really affected him, because I think that guy's got so much of a future, and for England as well. I'm really excited to see what he can do. If he has a fully fit year next year in the Premier League, he could keep Saints up on his own 2 feet.
Tottenham Hotspur now, and it's got to be Alfie Devine, hasn't it,
Yeah.
Theo? He's an attacking midfielder, age 17, from Warrington. He's represented England at youth levels, and he's already scored, age 16, in the FA Cup. Now, last season, he absolutely smashed it in Premier League 2.
And I've picked his England teammate Dane Scarlett, the forward. I've been amazed by how good he's been for England. He's averaging a goal every 39 minutes in this England youth squad. Unbelievable. And he got an assist yesterday. Alfie Devine was in the team. Both of them are the future of Tottenham, and the fact that they're shining in England's setup proves that they're going to be good. He's a clinical finisher with killer instincts, but also good off-the-ball movement. And if he continues to learn from Harry Kane on the training ground, I'm sure Conte will give him a chance.
West Ham United, I've gone with Harrison Ashby, Theo. He's 20 years old and he's a right back. Now, he got a little bit of game time in the Europa League, but he did most of his stuff in Premier League too. Now, does the gaffer give enough chances to youth?
Not enough. David Moyes likes his experienced players. No, I agree with you with Harrison Ashby, but it's difficult to judge with West Ham because we don't watch the academy matches, and if we don't, we're judging it off the first team, and David Moyes doesn't give enough opportunity for the youth to break through. So, as much as their form in last season was incredible, but I think especially come the end of the season, their form started to get a little bit shaky. Given the opportunity to Harrison Ashby and the other youth players like Baptiste, who are breaking through, I think they deserve a shot.
And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers, it's got to be Ki-Jana Hoover, Theo, who was with the Ajax and Liverpool academies. I think he cost £9 million. Now, Wolves fans will say he hasn't yet proven himself, but give the lad time.
There's only one pick for Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's Fabio Silva. He's still the wonder kid.
He's not the
yes,
wonder
they
kid.
overpaid. I know you think he's a mug and he's never going to be a good player, but look at his statistics for Portugal under 21s. I still believe in him next season. He's going to silence the Thogdad haters.
Theo, did he score a goal last season for Wolves?
No.
He's a forward. He doesn't score goals, Theo. I'm not seeing it.
Once it clicks, that guy's going to run riot, and I'll be looking at you like, Thogdad, you didn't rate this guy, and now he's backing him.
I don't rate him, and that's why I didn't pick him. I don't think he's going to score goals for Wolves.
Dad.
I think he's going to be sold back to a Portuguese team.
All you've ever said of him is an overpaid flop.
Well, that's what he is.
He's going to prove you wrong.
And that's all from us. Let us know what you think in the comments. Which ones have we got horribly wrong?
If we hit 15k, Thogdad, and I'll make him, put that pink dress on and get down Newcastle, son.
People wrote to me saying they don't want to see it.
What a mug. That's it. Wrap this video up, Josh.